that strange ending position and then just sticks it. Listen, this guy is a strong contender. I might just put my money on him.
All right, Brett Fairweather from New Zealand.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the results for New Zealand and Brett Fairweather. In skill, 144. Presentation, 105. We have a full fault deduction of 5 points. Total, 244.
Our next competitor, Jeff Vanderveer from the United States, 27 years old. He's a graduate of Washington State University.
Jeff is known as a superb dancer. He has high presentation skills because he has this exuberant, wholesome personality and spirit. Now watch, roll up, stand up, into splits. Now, he needs to get this sort of cardiovascular endurance going. Oh, I like that piece of choreography. Here we go. Push-ups. He's going to do far more than his compulsories to gain some extra points. We're going to see splits on both sides, and they will be perfect. Abdominal compulsories. The reason why he brings those arms way back is to increase the leverage. You know, that straddle press he just did seemed a bit rushed to me. Nice high leg kick. Pull it down and pull it up. He's got great style, you see. I mean, puts a lot of spirit and interest into the choreography. Although, you know, I don't think this is his best example of choreography. He holds it. He's relieved.
Jeff now lives in Los Angeles. This past year, he was voted one of the outstanding young men in America.
All right, show us. Bring it on home. His presentation skills will be very, very high. I'm not sure what the deduction was for on the New Zealander, but I don't think he shows he has as much strength. I just don't think he showcases it as well as the New Zealander. It will be very interesting to see how these numbers fall.
Okay, Jeff Vanderveer of the United States. So can he win it? We will find out.
In skill, 143.5. Presentation, 112. Out of a possible 300, total score 255.5, and our leader.
Richard Blair comes from Calgary and lives in Vancouver now. He has, look at this single leg hole, which he puts with knee flexion, which makes it so risky, and he did not falter. You know, this man has an interesting hobby that is unusual for these kind of athletes. He likes bingo.
Well, who doesn't like bingo if you win?
I don't like bingo.
Richard is 27 years old from Vancouver, and he has choreographed his own routine here.
Yes, he's not used a coach, although he made such careful selections with music. This guy listened to 100 pieces of music before he chose his inspiration. Now look at that nice leverage there. He's got those arms way out there. Single leg hold, he calls it a Y scale, no faltering. This guy has great sureness of foot. He's very precise, and he knows just where he wants his limbs in space. A little bit of a duck walk. You know, he changed his routine after the preliminaries. He decided, this is what he changed right there. He put in those high kicks there to kind of to give it more big aerobic endurance value, to take a little bit of danciness out and really use those moments to impress with athleticism.
Well, one of the keys for Richard, he's been working on his flexibility, has he not?
Yeah, he has. Yeah, and it's come a long way. Do I need to tell you? Does that split tell you? There are his abdominal compulsories. Little whirl. Now show us. He has good repartee with the audience, you know. He responds well to them and they to him. There are his compulsory leg kicks. Oh, and he pops into that stance and holds it. That would make me nervous.
What about his performance?
This is hard to call. His performance is strong with plenty of flexibility. You know, we know now that that the New Zealander was docked points for putting his foot just over the red line, just out of bounds. If Richard has not seen any demerits like that, I think he stands a good chance.
And of course, that New Zealander was Brett Fairweather, deducted 5 points for going over the line. Will that affect the competition? We will find out.
Ladies and gentlemen, the scores for Canada and Richard Blair. Skill 141. Presentation 106. Total point score out of a possible 300, 247. Our winner and gold medal winner from the United States, Jeff Vanderveer. And the silver medal winner from Canada, Richard Blair. And the bronze to New Zealand and Brett Fairweather.
Okay, the men's individual championship, Jeff Vanderveer wins, but stay with us. We have more coming up, the team finals of the World Aerobic Championships. Welcome back to the fourth and final event in the first World Aerobic Championship. My favorite, the team competition.
The key word to remember in this event is synchronization.
First up in our team competition, the team from the USSR, Dmitry
Hello.
Zaitsev, Oleg Fisenko, and Larissa Hataluzina. Very young team, 23, 26, and 18. The woman, I should say, just 18.
There are two Russian 18-year-olds here. Actually, the whole Russian team is quite young. The man on the right is the interpreter. He has quite good English, and he's quite happy to interpret. Lovely fellow.
And we do say Russian because this team is a team from Moscow, which is in Russia, inside the Soviet Union.
The Soviets tend to build fairly aerobic routines, not unlike the Americans and the Canadians. They are so vastly improved over just last year. To think that aerobics was not even, I don't mean competitive aerobics, I mean aerobics period was not known in the Soviet Union before a year ago. They pulled this fabulous team together.
Many people think that the Soviets will be the team to beat in the next few years.
Oh,
Do you agree with that?
Yes, absolutely. Just you hold on to your hat. Presentation skills, I think, will be a little weaker on these athletes because they certainly enjoy it, and you can see they enjoy it, but they don't aggressively sell that enjoyment. I mean, you have to let the world know you're celebrating this movement, and they're a little more reserved with that. That will come in time.
And that has been a characteristic of many Soviet athletes on many different teams, so this might be something the Soviets have to work on.
Yeah. Oh, now that's their signature.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
new. We've never seen this reverse roll into splits atop the men doing push-ups. They have got that down pat.
Great
Let me
ending.
tell you, pat. You know, the tights in that outfit don't really match. I think that could bring down presentation skills as well, presentation scores. I'm not betting yet.
Okay.
I'm biding my time till I see them all.
All right, only 3 teams left, the Soviets with a tremendous performance.
Here are the scores for the USSR. In skill 146. Presentation 104. A total score out of a possible 300, 250.
Now it is time for the team from Japan. Shinji Hori, 29 years old. Hitoko Shimazaki, 29 years old. And Kimiko Kikuchi, also 29 years old. They hail from Tokyo, Japan.
Listen to this music. Now listen. Listen. Have you heard this tune? Name this tune.
As Jimmy Gaga would say, I'm a dandy, I'm a dandy.
What a salute to the aerobics movement born here in North America.
Is it good music? Is this a good choice for this game?
Yes. Oh, yes. And these athletes are so jubilant. They have great presentation, particularly this girl in red. She's a real showman, that one. All right, compulsories, which will be superb. That's it. Come on. They will spend a lot of time interpreting the music. Heavy and good musical interpretation. Their synchronization is quite fine, but they don't develop this sense of heavy cardiovascular endurance with great big range of motion movement.
It's a little smaller team than we're used to seeing, so it's not really a physical team.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. They spend time dancing and interpreting, and not, to my mind, enough being very aerobic and very strong, big.
Not piling up the strength points.
That's exactly the point. You know, all those extra strength and flexibility moves beyond the compulsory glean in points. So I think the weakness is exercise selection. But boy, are they a delight. They are, I mean, they're endearing.
Trained together for 4 years. How well can they do? What kind of performance did you see there?
You know, I still am not going to commit until I see the Americans. The Americans are so strong. I want to see if anything goes wrong.
All right, you're such a chicken. All right, the team from Japan with a very good performance.
We have the scores for Japan. In skill, 142. Presentation, 109.5. Japan is our leader with 251.5 points out of a possible 300.
And now the United States. The score to beat, 251.5. Mona Hartnett, Debbie Harvey, Marissa McKeechan. One of the most experienced teams you will ever see. Been training together for 5 years. The 1988 USA champs.
Mona Hartnett, who is on the left of your screen, is the oldest competitor in this competition at age 36.
Well, she may have a 36-year-old head, but her body says elsewhere.
Look how long they held that press. And check out these push-ups. These athletes have trained hard to meet McKeechan's skill and strength level, because balance is so important in fitness levels and teams. So Marissa will gear down to meet their levels, and those two have worked grueling schedules to get stronger.
Marissa McKeechan on the right. She's the trainer of Brandy Johnson, one of America's great female gymnasts.
This routine is highly challenging in strength moves, and as Marissa had viewed in her own choreography, they've pumped it full of opportunities to bring in those extra points on strength and flexibility. Whoa. Whoa. To think,
Is that good wall or bad wall?
yeah, good, because they're brave enough, A, to attempt those balance moves, and B, to attempt them with 3 people. I mean, it would be so easy for one of them to falter, but they don't. All right, contact with the audience, little interpretation, split and right down. And on the other side, they like to prove it on both sides.
Mona Hartnett, Debbie Harvey, Marissa McEachin from the United States. But was it a performance? Was it enough to beat out Japan for the gold?
I think I saw a little lack of synchronization on the splits there. Somebody seemed to go down faster than the others. But they're so strong. I'm going to go with the U.S.
Okay, it's between the USSR,
By the skin of my teeth.
Japan, and the United States.
And now the scores for USA. In skill, 157. In presentation, 114. The total score of 271, and the gold medal winner, the USA.
And so the bronze goes to the USSR, the silver medal to Japan, the gold medal and new world aerobic champions are from the United States of America.
The United States came up with a big, big performance when they needed it.
Boy, they really did come through.
First world aerobic champions are part of sports history.
Let's go back down to the floor where the awards ceremony is about to begin.
We'd like to salute the winners of the first 1990 World Aerobic Championship by presenting a check for $25,000 to be shared among the winners.